recording. I'm gonna leave the door open, just in case anybody would come in. It's a public hearing.
Right, again, hi, my name is Margaret Kavanaugh Lynch. I'm the planning manager here in the city of Centerville. You know the project planner, and this is a official informal zoning administrators hearing. We do have one item on the agenda, which is 721 Francisco Boulevard East. And this is use permit 23030, which only planners speak, sorry. And it's a request for a conditional use permit to operate an automobile detailing business at 721 Francisco Boulevard. And I remember that Renee and I talked about this, and we're really excited to have your business joining us here in Centerville. If the off chance anyone in Zoom land is trying to get in, we're gonna, I don't know if I wanna, how I want to explain this to anyone. If you are on Zoom and you'd like to come in, there's a way to virtually raise your hand during the public hearing. You'll see a little icon. I'm looking for the phone number oh, here it is. Anyone on the line, you are now being muted, but we can call on you at the appropriate time, and the person on audio can unmute themselves by hitting *9.
So we have
We do have one person.
one attendee here.
Excellent.
He's actually part of our team.
Oh, so great.
Great.
If for some reason it doesn't work, you'll be able to get a hold of them.
So this is a general format. We have a brief presentation from the project planner of the application. If the development, you want to make any sort of presentation, just kind of, if you want to say anything about your project, would be really good to have that in the record as well. And then we can open it up to the public to see if anyone has any comments, even the person on your team. And we can close the hearing and then we can make a decision. So that's the general thumbnail of it. Thanks for rolling with us on this Zoom in-person hearing. So Renee, you'll overview the project.
Yes, absolutely. As noted, this is the zoning administrator hearing for a conditional use permit at 721 Francisco Boulevard. The application is for an auto detailing business, which is permitted with a conditional use permit in the general commercial zoning district. It is located. This particular subject building is on a property with multiple buildings, as you're aware, and will utilize some shared parking and access space. The detailing business that's proposed has submitted very specific operation, with both in operational hours and numbers of employees expected and total number of customers to be coming on site. We have confirmed with the applicant that no painting will be occurring at the interior of the building, which is an important detail, and we can discuss in the conditions following how that would be addressed. Do we want to go into too much detail about we usually pretty brief?
Yeah.
Overview. So that is about it as the project planner wait to recommend the.
Sure.
Okay.
Clearly, we practiced this for an hour. Yeah, no, it's really informal. Does anybody, with Renee's overview, obviously, the three of you are very familiar with the project since what brings it here today. And the person in our audience that's visible is on your team. So is there anybody have any questions regarding the project overview? The only question I have is, did the development team see the conditions of approval?
They have not been, they don't get posted until after the meeting, so I can review those.
Yeah, just real quickly, I want to make sure that you're comfortable with the conditions, that they make sense to you. And so there's your plans are your project, there are standard conditions that every project has, but I want to make sure that anything we added specific to their use is something that they're, mostly we're just going along with the hours they sent and the use as proposed, just
Right.
anything that might be new.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, so the majority of the conditions are standard conditions of approval for any use permit. Building permit is required, sign permit will also require a separate application, and just essentially that you'll need to continue to meet the provisions of the code. Some specific conditions for this particular project, it's not auto repair, but we do have performance standards in our code related to auto repair, and a few of those are applicable to this business, specifically outdoor storage and vehicle storage in general. So the condition is that there would be no outdoor storage unless screened from view, which would also require a sub-application or amendment to this use permit. And that any vehicles that are currently in process of being, in this case, detailed, do need to all be kept in the interior of the building and inside of the workshop. So no work that's currently being done can be visible from the exterior. And that's the primary, those are the specific project conditions.
Does that
Yes.
work with your business plan?
That does.
Yeah.
Yes, it works really well with this property because the visible spaces from the street are dedicated customer parking spots, so they would not be encroached upon by use, and the areas we have identified that could be used to store outdoor cars are behind the building, well outside of view. So don't see any problem with that.
Great. Does the car storage, so when it sounds like when the car is detailed and waiting to be picked up, it might be parked on the other side, but so it's just a car parked on one side of the building or
Yeah.
the other. There's nothing
Yeah.
happening to the car. It's just parked there.
And
right?
also, this is for this franchise, this is a much larger footprint than their normal. I mean, something like 50% larger than the normal.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
So they have a lot of extra space compared to their normal model. So a lot of that's going to be interior available for parking and storage.
So that's, if you're working on the car, it's in the building. If you're not working on the car, it's a parked car and.
Either parked
Yeah, we're
or
all good.
it's still inside. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Great. I just want to make sure that was comfortable and that.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Do any one of the three or a person on Zoom, have anything you want to say, present? It's pretty informal again. Is there anything you want to, anything you want to make sure the city of Santa Fe knew regarding the project?
But so this is Jerry Liang, which I very much appreciate it. You guys have done it and get responses completed for us. We look very much forward to opening up in a few months. Service city of San Rafael and county we're in. We know that it's a much needed service, for people for a lot of car enthusiasts, to be able to have a one-stop shop to be able to take care of their vehicles.
Yeah, I completely agree. Charlie Litchfield, speaking on behalf of the ownership of the site, that it's a really necessary service. I'm happy to be bringing it to San Rafael. I got my own car stylized and had to go to Petaluma was the closest place, and having there's just not a professional outfit that does it in Marin County. So I think it fills a niche and will be successful here in the city.
That's great. That is really good. Okay, it's a quasi judicial action, so I have to say things that may seem kind of logical, but from the on the surface. At this point, I'd like to open the public hearing to see if anyone from the public would like to say anything. Since we have no one in the building or on Zoom that would come in as a member of the public, would it close the public hearing? Thank you for that. Based on the staff report and the conditions, the zoning administrator is happy to approve this project. There is an appeal after every decision of the zoning administrator. That decision can be appealed 5 business days from today, ending on the following Wednesday at 5 p.m. So yeah, so business days. So if anyone wants to apply to appeal us, they may do so by emailing the project planner, which is Renee, and inform them that they are appealing, a letter if they want to do that, and we will talk about there's a fee. We're happy to inform anybody. I do not imagine this will be appealed. I just wanted to, there's a due process, we have to go through that. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. The appeal thing goes on for a bit, but it's like, if any interested party would like to appeal in the next 5 business days, they should email Renee and we have detail on how that could be done. Otherwise, if you have any building permits that you would like to move on, you're welcome to submit them. We can't issue them until we're ready, and the 5-day appeal period is passed, but anything we can do, if you have a business license that's pending, that can also be approved right after the appeal. So that's how all that. Great. And that concludes the zoning administrator meeting. 10:09. Thank you very much. Adjourned. I need a gap, don't I?
I do.
It's January.